The National Weather Observatory Board on Climate Change issues warning signals to the 10 regions of Cameroon on massive floods and natural disasters that will be animating this rainy season. Also, Cameroon joins the rest of the world today to celebrate the International Day of Innocent Children, Victim of Aggression Day, a day set aside by the United Nations with a call for protection of children all across the globe. And French football superstar of Cameroonian origin Kylian Mbappe signs up with Real Madrid after several negotiations with his former team, Paris Saint-Germain of France. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. This is High Prime of Tuesday, the 4th of June 2024. For presentation, I am attending Larry Kevin Sabot. We start off with this International Day celebration. Cameroon today joins the rest of the world to commemorate the International Day of Innocent Children, Victim of Aggression Day, set aside by the United Nations Organization, a day that is to bring credit on and showcases the protection of children. As such, Alice Leke-Liengu, a comment of ITV, recounts on some incidents that took place in Cameroon where the lives of innocent children were being killed, were being wasted by the Anglophone crisis, as Alice Leke-Liengu comment has more.
Every day, children living in wars across the globe are facing despicable horrors. They are not safe sleeping in homes or playing outside, learning in school, or seeking medical care at the hospital. Since June 1982, after the United Nations General Assembly declared that June 4 would be observed as the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression Day, many organizations hold events on this day to spread awareness for the need to protect children. Some community holds events to raise awareness about the realities of violence against children. In Cameroon, this day is a reality. The 15th October case of little Carol Louise Ndiale, of 5 years old, who was killed in Boya. The October 2020 case where about 7 school children were killed in a school in Kumba, and more. However, most countries like Cameroon, which is going through this form of crisis, have put some measures and actions taken to protect these innocent children from the aggression of wars.
And we move on to something else. The National Weather Board for Observatory and Climate Change, with headquarters in Yaoundé, has issued a warning signal to the 10 regions of the country regarding the massive floods and catastrophe that will be animating the rainy season for 2024. As such, the board called on the various municipal and local population of the 10 regions to make sure they get their acts ready in order to prevent or avert such catastrophe when they happen, such that human life should not be lost on a colossal damage. As such, for the southwest region, towns like Limbe and Moyoka are highly will be witnessing these catastrophes of floods and other natural disasters. While for the northwest region, Bamenda, Babising, and some other towns of the northwest region will be playing host to this catastrophe. More with our reporter on the story. As the rainy season comes knocking in Cameroon, the National Weather Observatory Board on Climate Change is ringing the alarm bells on towns and localities that will be recording massive floods and other natural catastrophes. In the southwest region, for instance, localities such as Limbe and Moyoka will be recording such incidents, while in the northwest region, Bamenda, Batibo, Bengui, Bambalang, Bamising will equally be victims to floods and other natural occurrences. The littoral region, on the other hand, localities such as Douala 2, Douala 4, Douala 5, Yabasi, Edeya, and Kongsamba will be affected. In the central region, the case will be similar to the aforementioned, as the Yaoundé Center, Colbison, Akonolinga will be recording floods and other natural catastrophes. The extensive reports cuts across the rest of the 6 regions as it promised to be severe during this rainy season, with the different forecasts forecasts done by the National Weather Observatory Board on climate change. The respective municipal structures and local government are therefore called upon to be proactive for the needful to be done such that when it strikes, they all can be on a safer side, as nature doesn't need humanity, rather humanity needs nature, and natural occurrences and disaster do not ask for anyone's opinion whenever they want to strike. At the 50th Board of Directors meeting of the Southwest Development Authority, SOWEDA, the board gave a thumbs up to the management of SOWEDA for their rate of execution of the 2023 budget and management stores account of that developmental outlets for the Southwest region. During the session, speaking to the media, the Board of Directors, Ebe Epande Etiage, says it's time for SOWEDA to look for external funding, as the strain funds that comes from the state of Cameroon are no longer quite voluminous, as he says. They are now turning their eyes towards external funding. Our reporter has more. At the 50th Ordinary Board meeting of the Southwest Development Authority, SOWEDA, for the Board of Directors session presided over by the board chair, was highly solicited by the board members for the remarkable job done by management.
Generally look at the reports presented by management concerning the running of the institution in the year 2023. And after examining the reports, discovered or realized that management executed the budget at a good rate. Resources were mobilized to the tune of about 2,266,000,000, and of those 2,266, 1,840,000,000 were executed. In terms of expenses. So that gives an execution rate of about 81%.
The Southwest Developmental Outlets that has been at the forefront of development in the region for the past years now was extremely grateful for the management towards the management of resources.
The board thinks that the management has done very well. That rate of execution, considering the insecurity that we still find in some areas in the division, we think that the board did very well, and the management did very well, and the board congratulated management, not only for that level of execution, but the quality of the documents that are presented, because there's been a good evolution in terms of quality, in the reports that they bring up.
With a strange subvention that usually comes from the state of Cameroon that has witnessed a recent drop for the past years, SOWEDA is now looking for other external means of funding.
The structure has been created, after or during, because we are still under the insecure period, and there's the PPRD, the Presidential Plan for Reconstruction of the Northwest and the Southwest. And SOWEDA is an implementing partner to the main implementing structure, which is the UNDP. And till date, we are still expecting, to be told what we are supposed to do and to be given the means to do that. It's true, it's a bit slow, but we're working towards that.
As a remarkable score by the Southwest Development Authority board members, who congratulated management as she remains focused towards her mission statement of transforming the region. On to our foreign dossiers package for tonight. The South African Independent Election Commission, the IEC, recently has declared the election results of the just ended general elections that took place in the Rainbow Nation of South Africa. For the first time, the governing ANC party, that is the African National Congress of the incumbent president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has lost her absolute majority to the opposition party, the Democratic Alliance. Alliance, the Economic Freedom Fighters, and some other political parties that were springboards from the ruling APC party, from the ruling ANC party, I beg your pardon. So this now puts South Africa government in a tight corner, as she will be forced to create an alliance either with the major opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, the DA, that is run by the white minority population of the South Africa, or to go to the left-wing politician of Julius Malema, whose party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, who have not been in one accord with the set ANC. Aisha Mbeng is a lady on the story.
South Africa's ruling party, the ANC, takes a different turn after losing a majority vote.
Official results confirmed on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, that no party won a majority in South Africa's election as unprecedented coalition talks begins. 58.6% of voters cast a ballot in the parliamentary poll, which saw the ANC win a little over 40%. According to Professor Patrick Bond, a political analyst from the University of Johannesburg, that leaves the center-left ANC with the dilemma of whether or not to form a coalition with the centrist opposition party, the Democratic Alliance.
A real National Executive Committee crunch point for both ANC and the Democratic Alliance. Will it be to both of their advantage to combine with a solid 62% of the vote? Or would the ANC rather just scrape by at above 50 with a combination of small parties, possibly one of them, the fourth party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, or even reaching out to Jacob Zuma and saying, come back and we'll give you deputy president and your honor will be restored.
The ANC won 159 seats in the 400-seat parliament, down from the 230 it won in the last election. The DA increased slightly to 87 seats. There are 4 major political parties and in total 8 with significant shares of the vote after last week's election. President Cyril Ramaphosa called on Sunday for South Africa's political parties to overcome their differences and find common ground to form the first national coalition government in its young democracy. The ANC leader is further seeking a second term and can count on the firm support of his group.
Know Cyril's leadership, and I think there's a lot more certainty in Cyril's leadership. We understand the way in which the policies have been created, and I think also Cyril will probably be more likely to collaborate with other parties and allow for this inter-party mix.
There is some pressure for coalition talks to progress and for the uncertainty to be minimized, given that the new parliament needs to sit for the first time and elect a president within 14 days of the election results being declared.
That was Rita Mojoko reporting instead of Aisha Mbeng. We remain still with the Rainbow Nation of South Africa, where Cyril Ramaphosa has now come out to regret the loss of the ANC governing party that has been in power for the past 30 years, ever since the white minority rule came to an end as a result of the end of apartheid in the Rainbow Nation of Nelson Mandela, following the publication of results by the South Africa Independent Election Commission, the IEC, who published results recently that indicates the ANC has completely lost her absolute majority in the Rainbow Nation of Nelson Mandela. More with Aisha Mbeng will recount.
South Africa's ruling party, the ANC, takes a different turn after losing a majority vote in parliament. The leader of the party, Cyril Ramaphosa, seeks a second term in office but states they need the support of other parties in order to get to their desired position once more. Its Secretary General Fikile Mbalula recently revealed on the 3rd of June that the party is having ongoing discussions with the organization alongside other parties and stakeholders on how to best establish national and provisional governments that reflects the need and will of the people, as well as measures that will take the country forward. Despite its rich range of potential partners, aligning with the country's first opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, would mean the ANC ought to have numbers. Worth noting is the fact that the two parties have shown irreconcilable views on a range of pertinent issues. MK Party, which arrived third in the election, could do the split, but former President Jacob Zuma, who recently acclaimed for the newly founded party, has acrimonious ties with President Cyril Ramaphosa. With the ongoing negotiations, the new parliament, however, needs to sit for the first time and elect a president within 14 days of the results being declared.
From South Africa, we cross over to Cameroon, where the Revival Gospel Nigerian Primary School Boya of Bishop Tembi Alfred has sent off her graduation student pupils who are leaving the school after doing well in their bookwork, as the school had 100% in the just publication of results of the government common entrance examination, with majority of the pupils scoring list A. In the graduation ceremony that saw the son of the founder, who thanked parents and encouraged all in the town of Boya to make sure their children keep on seeking admission or attending that set Revival Gospel Nigerian Primary School of Boya, as it is an ideal way of formation of the children. Alice Lekeliengo Ikome sat through the graduation ceremony and I brought back this report.
It is the fourth graduation ceremony of Real Generation Nigerian Primary School Bunduma Boya. The graduation ceremony matched with the end-of-year party took place this May 29 under the watchful eyes of the proprietor, Gilbert Ayangjim, who has great prospects for the school.
I'm really pleased with the performance of the kids today, and I'm really happy with the teachers. It's been a journey so far. Everything that has happened here is not just something that was just got up and decided, but it has been a work from a lot of diverse knowledge that we've put together. Okay. And also, like if you can see, we stand up to be one of the best schools, not only in
I know you have had a very busy day
our
today.
infrastructure speaks volume for itself. This is a building of 1,300 capacity.
So our dear parents, our dear
classroom
guests,
standard of 9 by 7.
We'll go orderly into the main
so
hall.
We are working hard to make sure that we provide the children not just education but extracurricular activities that children will learn extra things apart from their studies.
The world is moving towards artificial intelligence, and Royal Generation Nigerian Primary School is starting from the base.
The education system in Cameroon, which baffles me also because sometimes students finish from University of Boya and they have to go and do 1 year of IT to acquaint themselves, but here at Royal Generation, we are making it in such a way that children from class 4 will be able to know how to use the internet, how to know to use browse and use other sites without any difficulties. So in that, we've got a lab IT section. At the moment, we've got 25 working laptops, and hoping, I've just sent some few from China, they're on their way coming. So by September, we'll be able to have at least 75 laptops in this campus, and we train IT specialists that will be helping the kids and the teachers as well, because we cannot just train the kids without the teachers having the knowledge about the things they are doing.
The school's result on the just proclaimed common entrance examination tells a lot about the school.
As far as Royal Generation is concerned, we don't clown when it comes to academic and studies. So that's why you see we are happy today, seeing that even in all the classes, all the children, they have made it in 100%, meaning that all the children are rounded. So we have nothing like a magic behind it. The success behind everything is just the teamwork, the team spirit, and the good leadership that I think I've offered to my various teachers. We have worked in a synergy, in a very common and a very open atmosphere that has encountered to the success of every bit of things that we do.
Royal Generation Nigerian Primary School makes the environment comfortable, both academically and physically, for both teachers and pupils.
of being in this school was like interesting. I've experienced so many things. I have great friends, and the teachers teach well.
Thank the teachers for everything they have done. Sometimes I was not able to read very well. I was not understand most of the things, but I would try to write things on the paper to help to write the things on the paper to give the teachers if I know what I am doing or what I don't know.
The ceremony was graced with the award of prizes to teachers, pupils, and parents.
Students, 20.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from a new studio here in High Television. We move on to the most populous black nation in the world, Nigeria, where yesterday Nigerian Labour Congress and the Nigerian Trade Union sent shocking wave to the federal government of the Tinubu administration as they embark in a one-day strike action that saw the National Assembly and other stakeholders who hurriedly rushed to talk with the striking Labour Congress and the Labour Union of Nigeria respectively. This strike action was one that made the Nigeria economy to completely shut down as airports, traveling agency, television station, radio station, and other banking and other services were all in a shutdown mode as the various workers took to their various working place singing songs of protest. This has prompted the administration of Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu to say they are heeding to the demands of the striking workers, whose main demand is an increase in the minimum package in Nigeria and for the electricity tariff to be reduced by all costs. Aisha Mbeng reports.
An indefinite general strike begins in Nigeria as disgruntled workers pour out their frustration on the impossibility to survive on what the government is proposing as a minimum wage, for it is not enough to buy a bag of rice. So workers below level 14 are sent home in order for the government to feel the impact. The strike has led to power cuts across most parts of the country as workers have shut down the national grid. With the minimum monthly wage currently being at 30,000 naira, worth €18 and $22, which the government is offering to double, workers like security guards complain of needing 50 kilograms of rice, which costs 75,000 naira to feed the family each month before taking other expenses into account. Nigeria's unions under the umbrella of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress are demanding the minimum monthly wage to be raised at 494,000 naira, which they say reflects the current economic realities as they do not encourage starvation wage.
I'm quite committed to finding a way forward, finding a living wage, finding a survival wage, and not starvation wage for Nigerians.
The government in return refused, saying accepting those demands will cripple the economy and lead to job losses because many businesses will not be able to pay their workers and will therefore have to close down, as the President of Senate explains.
Hence, the National Assembly believes strongly that anything that will bring more yoke, more suffering to the people of Nigeria must be avoided. We also know that it's not just a question of strike in wards. When the hospitals are closed, most poor people will die. Those who are even on oxygen will die. These services will die. Goods and services will not move freely. Productivity will reduce drastically. The living standard of Nigerians will also be impaired. Hence, in the last 4 hours, we have been making appeals, and we are still appealing. Leadership of the NLC and the TUC to quickly return to the negotiating table with government with a view to finding a lasting solution.
It is worth noting that schools, offices and hospitals across the country have been closed because of the strikes. The walkout has caused disruption at the country's busiest airport, Murtala Mohammed International in Lagos, with passengers saying how they have been left stranded outside the domestic terminal. According to one of the workers, a communique was earlier passed across concerning the strike.
We take off because we made enough, we gave enough time for announcement yesterday that no flight will take off this morning, and therefore those ones inside will not be able to go. They will reschedule it. It's a normal thing. We are aware that there will be a situation like this, and that is why we have addressed the public yesterday that there is going to be a strike this morning.
The national power outage started at around 2 a.m. local time, plunging most of the country into darkness. However, the electricity supply is not reliable at the best of times, so many Nigerians who can afford it and most businesses have generators. The Nigerian government has ended the policy of pegging the value of the naira to the US dollar, allowing it to dramatically depreciate, whereas 10,000 naira would have bought $22,000 last May. It will only purchase $6.80 now.
Fascinating reporting there done by Aisha Mbeng. And from that story from Nigeria, we move on to this other story from Cameroon, where the president of the National Council Order for Physicians in Cameroon, in a communique issued on directives aimed at enhancing medical prescription practices within the medical community in the Republic of Cameroon. The directives to take effect as from the 1st of July 2024. It's one that affirms on the availability and certain diagnoses and prescription and titles regarding the set doctor prescribing the medication to be bought by patients or persons wishing to buy the set prescriptions in the various pharmacies all across the nation. Alice Leke Eliengu Ikome, our health reporter, sat through that communique and our us in greater perspective.
Effective July 1, 2024, the President of the Council of the National Order of Physicians of Cameroon has issued a directive aimed at enhancing prescription practices within the medical community. Come July 1 this year, pharmacies will only dispense prescriptions that meet specific criteria outlined by the order. Going by the directives, prescriptions must be issued on letterheads bearing the prescribing doctor's full name, specialty, and complete address, plus the name of the health facility. Furthermore, doctors are required to affix a name stamp accompanied by their registration number with the order. The President of the Council has urged all doctors registered with the order to ensure that their prescriptions adhere to these guidelines. Doctors are encouraged to obtain schedulers that confirms the universally recognized standards of the profession.
Fascinating reporting. We move on to sport on our sports page. The French international superstar Kylian Mbappe of Cameroonian origin has signed off with the current champions of the European Champions League for the 2023-2024 football season. That is Real Madrid. In the signing that took place some hours ago, where the Kylian Mbappe says this signing is a dream come true for him. As a child, he has always had the urge and admiration to play with Real Madrid. He is leaving Paris Saint-Germain at a moment where the French team, hasn't been doing quite well in their play-off style all across Europe and in France, respectively. Our reporter has more. After the long negotiations between Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid over the French football superstar of Cameroonian origin Kylian Mbappe, the long wait is over as fans are now reacting positively towards the news of his signing to Real Madrid.
Yeah, firstly, prete, se stete, I think that's what that caliber player comes with. It's those things, because Copa del Rey has always been missing for us with the whole season. We had Liga Champions this year, could have been Copa del Rey, but I think he's going to be the one to get us off list for the first treble in our history.
At just age 25 years, the World Cup winner joins the Paris Saint-Germain team, who just won the 2023-2024 European Champions League trophy in the Wembley Stadium in London.
He's very versatile in the first place, and because of the way he plays, he kind of just takes it on his own all the way up. But so I'm interested to see how he blends with the team, but I think either way it's going to be a good fit.
Taking on his social media handle on X, Kylian Mbappe wrote it was a dream come true for him.
I personally don't like him, and I wouldn't have signed him. He absolutely sold us out 2 years ago, and we all shouted against him. We've won 2 champions ever since, so I think there was no need. Still, he's a great player, and I will celebrate him, but I have to admit that I didn't want him.
Fans of Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid alike all across the globe joined their voices to welcome him over to Real Madrid. And we move away from the signing of the French wonder boy of Cameroonian extraction, Kylian Mbappe, to the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, who began camping and training for the 2026 World Cup qualification scheduled to take place in the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico, respectively, as they have been at the Yaoundé Hilton Hotel, where they have been staying for the past days now, as their official transport service and logistics service is the bus service from the southwest region, the Busango bus services. That is the official carrier to the military stadium in Yaoundé, downtown in Yaoundé, precisely in the neighborhood of Ngwaikele, where they have been training. This has brought journalists and other fans of the Indomitable Lions who hail them for this act of training, as they wish them well in the Saturday's match that will be played between the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon and the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde, precisely at 2 p.m. at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé. Our reporter once again. The players of the Cameroon male national football team are in the Yaoundé Hilton Hotel, as they have been camping since Sunday's last night. This Monday, the 3rd of June 2024, saw the Lions as they were being transported by their official transport and logistic company, Musango Bus Services Limited, who took them to the Yaoundé Military Stadium in the Ngwaikele neighborhood. The boys of the Belgian tactician Marc Brice took a walk across some measured streets in the town as the fans and supporters hailed the Lions. As the football squad gets her acts ready for the World Cup qualification ticket for 2026 World Cup game against Cape Verde this Saturday, 8 June 2024 at exactly 2 p.m. in the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. Expectations are high following the recent melodrama between the country's FA, Fecafoot, and the Ministry of Sport and Physical Education. To football lovers and supporters of the Indomitable Lions in Cameroon, their earnest prayers is for the hatches to be buried so they can once again enjoy the beautiful game of football. And we are wishing the Lions well in their endeavors as they will be clashing with the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde this Saturday, 2 p.m. over there in the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. With our sports story viewers of High Television, this is where we conclude tonight's news package, High Prime, of Tuesday, the 4th of June 2024. Thanks for watching and good night from our news studios.